Dear students, today we are taking a case study in transformation of a company. And as I said that I will take the case study of one of the biggest and the most respected companies in India, which is called ITC. It was formerly called Indian Tobacco Company Limited. But now ITC does not stand for anything. It just means ITC. And the focus of the transformation, the man who transformed ITC into what it is today is somebody by the name Yogesh Deveshwar, or Yogi as he was popularly called by his corporate colleagues. ITC has one of the very few companies which still has headquarters in Kolkata. Kolkata, the city of joy in West Bengal. ITC is one of the most admired companies and most valuable companies. What do we mean by most valuable companies? Nowadays, when we talk about valuable companies, we normally talk in terms of the market capitalization, which means number of shares in the market multiplied by their market value. Of course, in 2020, 2019, 2020, market value of ITC has gone down. This is because of the pandemic. ITC has a very large vertical which is hotel industry, a welcome group of hotels, and hotels have not been doing much business, so the revenues are down. Add to this is the fact that the tobacco consumption has been going down, has not been rising in the country, and tobacco products are heavily taxed, and especially during the pandemic, the consumption of tobacco has gone down considerably. That is what at least I believe after seeing some of the television shows. This is because cigarette, as such, cigarette is injurious to health all the time. I want to give a disclaimer. This was the view of Mr. Deveshwar also, or Yogi Deveshwar also. He knew that tobacco consumption was something which will be taxed increasingly, and eventually the consumption of tobacco will reduce. He wanted he wanted a sustainable business model for his company. But let's first talk about ITC, or formerly known as Indian Tobacco Company. Its market capitalization, to have a fair value of capitalization, I have taken the quarter one of financial year 2019. That was around that period when the market capitalization stood at 3.6 lakh crore, 3.6 lakh crore, making it among the top 10 companies by market capitalization in India. By gross value, it was USD 10 billion enterprise. 10 billion. So 1 billion is 100 crore and 10 billion is 1000 crore. So 10 billion is 1000 crore, and if you multiply it by 70, close to 70,000 crore or 72,000 crore of business. Today, ITC is a leading fast moving consumer good marketer in India, FMCG. They have got 25 world class brands, mother brands. So, how this transformation came about, we will understand all about it. How it became one of the biggest FMCG companies. In the 10 years, the value which was added was value addition was 3.1 lakh crore. I will also have a slide wherein I will give you Yogi Deveshwar by numbers. I have taken it from livemint.com website. ITC and its group companies, they employ 32,000 people directly. Okay, so the vision was that ITC should create sustainable livelihood for 6 million families. This was the vision of Yogi Deveshwarji. 6 million means 60 lakh. 60, not families, individuals. So he wanted to create sustainable livelihood for 60 lakh Indians. He was the first man in India who said India first, and he was a corporate person. He is the first man who said India first. He had a great nationalistic fervor in him. That's why I call him a great man, Yogi Deveshwar. Homeborn, home educated, home bred. Great man. The only enterprise in the world of comparable dimension to have achieved and sustained three global indices of environmental sustainability. Only enterprise in the world of its dimension to achieve three major environmental sustainability. It is water positive for the last 16 years. What is meant by water positive? That means amount of water it organization is drawing, more than that it is recycling back or it is conserving. Water positive. So I told you success is beyond just the numbers. Success is also about how you treat your environment. It is also about environmental sustainability. It is also about making this planet green. It is carbon positive company for the last 13 years. What is carbon positive? That means the amount of emission it is doing is positive emission, less CO2. Isn't it great? And solid water recycling positivity for the last 11 years. Everything was achieved under the vision. So they achieved their business targets, sustainability targets, environmental targets, social target, nationality target under the leadership of Yogi Deveshwar and his team. This is what I called transformation, all round transformation. Isn't it fascinating? Okay, let's know about it in the subsequent slides. So as I said, I will give YC Deveshwar by numbers, and this I have taken from the website of Live Mint, 7th February 2017. So there are some numbers which the author of Live Mint has given. First number is rupee 1 crore. 1 crore every day. This is the amount of money Air India was making every day when YC Deveshwar quit as their chairman and joined ITC in 1996. Let me give you a brief. It was the Civil Aviation Minister Mr. Madhavrao Scindia in 1991. He invited Yogi Deveshwar to join Air India as its chairman and managing director. Chairman actually, but executive chairman. And YC Deveshwar, Yogi was at that time the vice. He was the number two man in ITC, and he said that if it's a national duty and it's an honor to become the head of Air India, under him, Air India became sixth most profitable airline in the world. Can you believe it? Sixth most profitable airline in the world. And under him, the profits doubled. So, transformation also is driven by top management who's visionary and who's able to take his team along and who's able to drive the vision of his strategic intent into the mind of every person with love, affection, by giving personal examples. So first is rupee 1 crore. Second is $45 billion. ITC's marketing capitalization at the end of financial year 2015-2016. So when Yogi took over in 1996 and when he was about leaving in 2016, so 96, 2020 years, the market capitalization grew 50 times. This is transformation. 50 times. Third is 100. Number of properties which were managed by ITC's division. When Yogi took over, ITC was managing 12 properties. In 20 years, they were managing 100 properties. This is transformation. 6 million. Number of sustainable livelihoods created by ITC's business. 6 million. 60 lakh. This is transformation of society. 25. These are numbers. So 1 crore, 45 billion, 100 hotels, and 6 million livelihoods. Then 25. 25 is the number of mother brands through which ITC enters millions of households in India. Mother brands. He created mother brands. 25 mother brands created in 20 years. So every year one mother brand was being created. 6 lakhs acre of new forest cover created by ITC under the mandate to make contribution to the environment. 6 lakh acre of green cover. This is transformation. So transformation is not just business transformation. It's not just profit transformation. It's not just sales revenue transformation. It is not just market capitalization transformation. Transformation means how you transform the environment. All credit to Yogi Deveshwar. He is a much unsung hero, unfortunately, because see, we are in the digital era. So nuts and bolt company, they don't get as much limelight nowadays as they used to get before the 90s. 30,750 crore was the ITC's total contribution to the national exchequer. 30,750 crore in way of taxes, direct taxes, indirect taxes, making it the second largest private player in terms of contribution to exchequer. Who's the number one? Reliance Industries is the number one. All of this was achieved by Yogi Deveshwar. So the number 1 crore, 45 billion, 100 hotels, 25 mother brands, 6 million sustainable livelihoods, 6 lakh acres of land, 30,750 crores to national exchequer was achieved by Yogi Deveshwar. Last number 4 a.m. 4 a.m. सुबह के 4 बजे. This is the time when Deveshwar used to rise every morning. This number is very important, students. Without this number, none of the above numbers can be achieved. So some of you were asking me, sir, how is transformation achieved? Of course, most important parameter is by your head, by your heart and your hard work. Head, heart, and hard work is what is needed to achieve transformation. 4 a.m. every day. Yogi Deveshwar was a great man. In the next few slides, we will understand more about him. Which year was Yogi Deveshwar born? Deveshwar was born in Lahore in Pakistan in the year 1947. 6 months before India got independence. So he was a midnight child, as if to quote from Salman Rushdie's Midnight Children. And he went to IIT. I think he went to IIT. He was from Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, and he also went to Harvard Business School. He joined ITC in 1968. 1968 at the as a officer, and he rose to become in 1998. He became the chairman of ITC. He took over from Mr. K.L. Chugh. He also served as a director in the Reserve Bank of India, and very importantly, he was a member of National Foundation for Corporate Governance. Corporate governance. Underlying principles which dictate how a corporate should function so that it fulfills its responsibilities towards all stakeholders in a transparent, ethical manner. It profits, everyone profits, but nobody profiteers. That is corporate governance. Profit is not a dirty word, but profiteering is a dirty word. So he was the founding member of the National Foundation of Corporate Governance. Sanjeev Puri, who's the ITC MD now, Chairman and Managing Director, he said, I'm quoting him, that Chairman Deveshwar was inspired by patriotic fervor, love for his country, and he always gave a call of let's put India first. So imagine, I told you that as a big corporate, you have a duty towards your country also. He always said, let's put India first. And he says he came out with strategic business units, and all his visions were aligned to ensure that the national priorities were taken care of. That is why, and Yogi Deveshwar was not the owner of ITC, he was a professional manager. He was the professional manager of ITC. He ensured corporate governance, that there was no undue interference by the people who had largest shares. He took care of shareholders. So he came out. What is transformation? Transformation also is when you come out with a new business model. A new business model at the heart of which is creation of employment, sustainable livelihood of 6, 6 million livelihoods. That means 60 lakh people. His leadership, to quote Sanjeev Puri, transformed ITC into a valuable and admired multi-business conglomerate with a robust portfolio of front-ranking businesses in FMCG, hotel, paperboard and paper, packaging and agri-business. FMCG, hotel, tobacco of course was always there, paperboard, paper, packaging and agri-business. It's not easy for one single man to achieve so much. That's why he used to get up at 4. Briefly, I would like to tell you that when he took over, at that time a controversy was arising. The the single largest shareholder of ITC was BAT, British American Tobacco Company, a multinational company. And British Tobacco Company, it had a policy that it wanted to dominate its subsidiary. So of course, subsidiary is a company in which a multinational or a foreign company owns at least 51%. But it owned around 30%. 30% is very substantial, very substantial. The policy of British American Tobacco or BAT was that it looked at the cheapest source of tobacco, and it was looking at India more as a market, and it wanted to push cigarettes manufactured outside India into the Indian market. And Deveshwar had just become their chairman. So normally what would happen is he would succumb to it. If your single largest shareholder, which is deciding your pay through the board meetings and everything, and it wanted to increase its market share by 30% to 51%, it could have only done it by buying shares from government owned institutions like UTI and LIC, which were owning around 20% of the share of ITC. ITC is a very profitable company, huge dividend paying company. So what did Yogi Deveshwar do? He fought his principles. He fought his principles means principal owners, and he ensured that ITC remained an Indian company. He convinced the Indian biggest shareholders like UTI and LIC and other financial institutes that it was in the national interest not to give majority stake, more than 50% stake, to a foreign entity. How difficult it is. You need to be very, very brave. He was a young man, 1996, 47, 57, 67, 77, 87. He was barely 45 years of age. So how much turmoil must have gone through in the mind of a young chairman when he fought off his own majority shareholder to ensure that the company remained an Indian entity, and BAT, the British American Tobacco, did not get a majority stake, which is at least a 51% stake in the company. So, and so transformation. So suppose BAT had taken over ITC, hotel business would not have flourished. They would not have bothered going into uh, agri products, FMCG product, paperboard, packaging, because they were mainly interested in ensuring in seeing India as a market. They were mainly interested in seeing India as a market, not ITC as a company which was charged to make sustainable livelihood for 60 lakh individuals. This is a difference in vision. So, transformation of ITC would not have taken place. Government of India also supported Deveshwar. So, credit to the government institutions also that they did not succumb to the pressures of BAT. So even after he quit in 2017 as chairman, and he was in bad health. He was asked to continue in the role of a non-executive chairman because the ITC thought that a mentor, a father figure like him was needed to achieve the total transformation of ITC under him. So this is about uh, Deveshwar, and we will also now see that what exactly did he do to transform, what were the parameters of transformation, because I told you transformation cannot be haphazard, it can be in a planned way. So we will see what Yogi Deveshwar did and how he did it. Let me now talk about in detail the process that was undertaken by Yogi Deveshwar to transform the ITC. And I have tried to list down some steps. The first is that the vision was clear. So when you transform, as I explained to you in slide number one, that transformation is always to a pre-plan. You cannot just think you want to change and you will change anyhow. It has to be as per the plan. So the plan was that in the next decade to come, instead of contributing 90% or 95% of what tobacco was contributing towards the total top line or the total revenue of ITC, they said 50% revenue must come from non-tobacco product. Non-tobacco product. And I explained to you why this was necessary, because it was thought that eventually, the growth of tobacco in India is not worldwide, it was shrinking, the demand was shrinking. People were getting weaned away by tobacco because of the bad, cigarette smoking is injurious to health. So, howsoever you would try, governments after governments were against tobacco, and Yogi Deveshwar had understood that governments had come out with more stringent deterrences against tobacco. For example, on each tobacco packet, you would find that there would be a picture of a man who has got mouth cancer or who's got lung cancer. So the but company has to sustain. The product category may go, but the company must sustain. Do you see the parallel here with many companies who never thought that the company has to sustain as such? LML Scooters folded shop. Recently, a very big bicycle manufacturing company closed down. Many television companies closed down in India. Scooter companies closed down in India. So they never thought what happens if tomorrow the people don't no longer require petrol or diesel. What will Indian Oil Corporation do? Have they thought of an alternative plan? Or for that matter, what will ExxonMobil do? Have they thought about it? Reliance has thought about it. You see, visionary leaders. Reliance, in terms of market capitalization, it has gained more from non-oil and chemical businesses, namely from retail, and from telecom. So tomorrow, if something happens to the refinery also, the turnover will not be zero for Reliance Industries. This is, and the industry has, Mukesh Ambani has transformed Reliance Industries. It's a net zero debt company today. It has become a net zero debt company. So first thing is, he had a clear vision and he had a clear strategy on how to go about it. Second thing is, he sold off edible oil business and financial services business. These are the steps he took. He says this is not in the scheme of things in a transformed organization. He knew what would a transformed organization look like. He knew it will comprise FMCG, it will comprise hospitality business, it will comprise agriculture, it will comprise paperboard, it will comprise some other things, but it will not comprise financial services, or it will not comprise of oil business, yeah, edible oil business. That is second thing. Third thing is, he built on company's core strength of distributors depth. The company's biggest strength is its distribution channel. ITC reaches 20 lakh retail points directly and 40 lakhs indirectly. So 60 lakhs is not a small amount. So he knew to transform, he had to ride on this. In the challenges for transformation, I had explained to you, sometimes a major challenge for a company can be lack of resources, lack of money. On the face of it, ITC did not face this problem. ITC was a cash-rich company. Sometimes, excess of money also is a challenge to transformation. Because if your existing business is making so much of money, why do you want to transform it? Are you getting my point? Challenges to transformation. So what did he do? He said, okay, I have got the reach, I have got the depth and distribution. My products go to every nook and cranny of this country, from a big city to a small village. Outside a five-star hotel, you will find at least one shop selling something of ITC. In a village fair, you will find many shops selling products of ITC. Fourth thing, he said he chose his allies, he chose his friends, he chose his partners. It's very important in transformation. Internally, he had his employees, he was able to motivate them. But he fought off, I told you, he fought off key shareholder, which is the British American Tobacco Company. So he collaborated with key India stakeholders, LIC and UTI. Very important in transformation that you carry the major stakeholders along with you. Process of transformation. In terms of philosophy, he embraced a very broad objective and a very noble objective. He thought of a motto, he thought of a tagline for himself and his company. He said, let's put India first. So ITC is a company which is responsible to bring food to the table of so many workers. It is giving so much of exchequer to the, I told you, in private sector, it was number two biggest number two biggest contributor to the exchequer, whether it was in terms of excise in old days, or even import duty, or sales tax, GS, or in terms of royalty. It used to give royalty also to its part, to the foreign entity which was owning it. Royalty was not given to the Indian exchequer, sorry. And it used to give income tax, corporate tax. So much of money, 65,000 crore, something like that. It's a over a period of time, over a period of few years, a mind-boggling. It's a mind-boggling figure. So, and when he used this credo that put India first, he was able to buy in emotional support of LIC and UTI. Another important step he took, another very important step he took when he started or embarked upon the process of transformation, is he started with a clean slate. I recall that his predecessor, Shri K.L. Chugh was a great chairman also. He had to even go to the jail for violation of FARA, Foreign Exchange Regulatory Act, Regulation Act. Foreign exchange was something uh, which people would not like to touch with a barge pole. So there were some violations which ITC had done. So he said, I will clean my house first, because you can't transform a company if you are fighting a legal battle for irregularities. Because irregularities, your morale of your people is low, authorities don't cooperate with you, they are after you. So he started with a clean slate. Transformation process invites huge criticism. Nobody can transform anything. Even a household cannot be transformed without criticism. If your father wants to transform the way you approach your studies, you will criticize him. You will be disappointed with him. You will show your resentment to him. Maybe you will toe his line. Any great reformer, he will be criticized. But Yogi Deveshwar he took all criticism in his stride. Criticism will come during annual general assembly. Annual general assembly, people will criticize, they will raise slogans against you. You look at the GST reforms, they were so badly criticized. But can you imagine a situation where, see, GST has many flaws still. I personally believe that too many tax slabs on GST is wrong. We all thought GST will be just one tax slab, unless Arun Jaitley said there is something called sin tax and that tax. I don't. He perhaps could have made it more appealing by having just one or maximum two tax lines, but GST, or because, but even if you are being criticized, you have to push things through. Transformation is not possible unless the organization has a driver driver behind them, driving force, drive, initiative, capacity to take criticism, capacity to take attacks on the chin. Without that, transformation cannot be achieved. When Mahendra Singh Dhoni transformed India into a brilliant fielding unit, he had to take the criticism, the snide comments from seniors uh, like Ganguly. So and he had to tell that if we want to become a number one cricket team in ODI and T20, seniors will have to go. I need younger legs in the team. He was severely criticized. He was severely criticized. So Deveshwar was criticized in the AGMs, because for transformation process you need to have money. There were retained earnings were there in the company, but you needed money. So when a company makes a profit, it can keep retained earnings for future expansion, or it can give out dividends. So the shareholders, they always wanted ITC to give dividend. They would say, don't build up reserves, chip into your reserve and give us bonus shares and other form of shareholders reward. But Yogi Deveshwar was able to conserve the resources of the company. And because he said, first of all, till all my tax disputes are resolved, I will not pay. I will like to keep dividend as less as possible, as less as possible. See, you have to understand that you have to look at the big picture. You cannot be spending into a paperboard business or a paper business or a tech company. At the same time, at the back of your mind, you have a fear that you have to pay so much of tax. outstanding tax liability. Is it possible? It is simply not possible. So, in the process of transformation, you have to choose, you have to be focused. Options are available. You have to evaluate all options and then you have to choose your options. And you have to constantly see whether you are going right. Can you still, do you still need to go back to the drawing board? One thing about Yogi Deshwar is he led from the front. In every AGM, he was at the front, braving the criticism of the shareholders. In every employee meeting, he was at the front. Dealing with every financial institutions, he was the face of the company. When it came to regulatory disputes, also, he was the one who was always there to reason out and get the best bargain for the company. And he had built an impression around him, and a right impression, not a false impression, that he always put India first. So ITC was looked upon as a national resource. That's why the government companies which held maximum shares, LIC and UTI, they supported him because they viewed ITC as a national, as if it was a public sector unit, as if ITC was an Indian company owned by them, mind you. And UTI and LIC never interfered in the day-to-day business of LIC of ITC. They interfered, of course, because they wanted more and more dividend from it to that extent. But they did not interfere in the day-to-day management of ITC or in selection of dealership or in any other thing. So he led from the front. Yogi Devashar led from the front. He took ownership of any failure. He betted big on new initiatives like e-Chopal. So, what is e-Chopal? E-Chopal, e-Chopal was started in Madhya Pradesh, in which a for the first time it was started in year 2000. Year 2000, much before, how many years before these Flipkarts and everybody came? E-Chopal, in which Chopal is of a village, the courtyard of a village. There is a big tree, and then many people come and they sit down there and discuss. So he started connecting these villages by computers, and because he was getting into the foods business, he had already got into the food business. 2002, mind you, he started Ashirwad Atta. 2002 he started Ashirwad Atta. So if you take the journey, it's methodical. 1996 he took over. He fought the tax evasion. 1998 he sold off the edible oil businesses, and he set up the first state of art factory in Bengaluru in the year 1998, and he started forestry with tribal population in the south. He involved communities with him. 2001 he changed the name of the company for Indian Tobacco Company to ITC. What is the importance of changing the name of a company from Indian Tobacco to ITC? Because he wanted tobacco to be out of ITC, tobacco to be the less and less. And he launched food business with Kitchens of India. And there was another company, paperboard company, in which they had a substantive stake. He merged that company into ITC. In 2004, he merged ITC Hotel with itself. So he said no longer a subsidiary, because he wanted the company, because had he allowed it to remain a subsidiary, it is a different. That means ITC remains a tobacco company. He merged that into itself. See, vision is clear. ITC as an entity has to be less than 50% of tobacco. So he merged ITC Hotels Limited with itself, and he acquired paperboard mill from Built Balarpur Industries. He acquired a paperboard mill. So all diversifications which are happening, and these diversification, hotel business they were already in. He needed to acquire a board company which makes board, so that it can be used in cigarette cartons. So he was not going for mindless, reckless diversification. You can say he was trying to build synergies. This is the kind of backward integration. 1997, he formed a structure of corporate governance based upon principles of trusteeship. 2000 he entered stationery business. He launched Wilf Lifestyle. He entered into clothing business. He set up E-Chopal. He also acquired a sizable stake in East India Hotel Company, which used to own Oberoi's, because he wanted to consolidate his hotel business more. He thought adding revenue, the easiest way to add revenue is to take up a company which already has a good revenue, but he could not overtake it completely because there were fears of takeover by the Oberoi group of hotels. In 2002, he launched wheat flour under Ashirwad brand and confectionery. In 2003, he started biscuits business, Sunfeast. Sunfeast biscuits. So you see, everything he's doing methodically. 2004, he acquired more packaging industries business. In 2007, he launched Bingo potato chips and Fiamma de Vils range of products. Every year he is doing something. Enhanced in 2008, he enhanced the paperboard division to expand his capacity. In 2008, he became a waste recycling positive company. In 2010, he set up state-of-art manufacturing facility in Manpura. 2010 profit after tax were 6,000 crore. So profit before tax was 6,000 and profit after tax was 4,000 crore. In 2011, he received a Padma Bhushan, the third highest civilian award. 2012, he became world's first largest LEED platinum green hotel. Its hotel in Grand Chola in Chennai. 2003, Sunfeast came to become among the top three brands in the biscuits range. 2006, the company turned carbon positive. 2009, its market capitalization grew 1 trillion rupees and gross revenues crossed 25,000 crore. 2015, they launched juices business under the brand of B Naturals. They acquired Sevlon. In terms of personal hygiene products, he shower to shower he acquired from Johnson and Johnson, and he launched ghee also. 2016, the gross revenue was 50,000 crore. So 2009 it was 25,000 crore. 2016 it was 50,000 crore. In the subsequent slides, I have told you and you see eventually what did he achieve. In 2015-16, the cigarette formed 62% of the revenue. 16-17, 61%, but 2018-19, 45% of revenue. See, achieved his dream of non-tobacco products contributing less than 50%, of the total revenue of the company. So this all he achieved, and some of the brands you see, Ashirwad today, it's a 4,000 crore brand. I'm talking of 2 years ago. Sunfeast is a 3,500 crore brand. 3,500 crore brand. Bingo is a 2,000 crore brand. Vival soap, Candyman confectionery, and Mangaldeep Agarbatti. Can you imagine Mangaldeep Agarbatti? Incense stick. It's a 500 crore brand. 500 crore Vival soap, 500 crore Candyman confectionery, and 500 crore Mangaldeep Agarbatti. Can you imagine organized sector selling agarbatti and making a turnover of 500 crore? So you plus these brands, 4,000 plus 3,500, 7,500, 1,000 crore is 1,000 crore Classmates stationery, Sunfeast and Hippie noodles. So 4,000 plus 3,500, 7,500 plus 1,000, 8,500 plus 2,000 Bingo. 10,500 from these small businesses in year 2018. So this is called transformation. And there was a very interesting slide which I wanted to show you. I think I have it with me. Yes, shareholders return. When Yogi was there, he did not achieve all this growth at the cost of ignoring shareholders. No. Compounded annual rate of return to shareholders 23%. Market capitalization it zoomed to fifth position, 3,65,000 crore. So he was instrumental in transforming the Kolkata-based company from being, I'm reading from Mint, from being mostly a cigarette maker to a conglomerate with interest in sectors like FMCG, hotels, paper and packaging, and agribusiness. Yogi Deveshwar died at the age of 72, and he died of cancer. Perhaps he went away a bit too early, but he achieved so much in his lifetime. I thought through this video lecture, I will tell you about a great corporate, and I'll also tell you about a great man called Yogesh Deveshwar. Thank you.